on. Perfect. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Been a little bit. Had Christmas, we had New Year's, everything else. Like to welcome everyone back. Hope everyone's holidays went great. I would have been back probably last week, but with some changes to the setup and other stuff, my computer and other stuff, my whole setup, trucking, like the wheel, everything was not on, so I was not able to do much streaming wise, but I did manage to finally get my hands on Louisiana, so I am caught up again when it comes to map DLCs. Sorry about that. Mike's in a new spot. I gotta get used to that. It's pretty much the same spot it was, but it's a little different. Plus, there's been a couple of additions. Plus, there's also an addition coming for the setup. So, for today and probably the other two streams this week, there will be probably no tracking for the model. Like, the model still works and everything, and the lip sync still works. I did make sure of that. But with the changes that were made, I no longer have a way to basically mount my phone as a camera in a somewhat decent spot that would actually capture good without completely taking up my entire screen. So some stuff had to be a little improvised, but I got it pretty good. Um, anyway, I will jump us on in here, and I basically have a job lined up and ready. Like, I'm literally sitting in front of it, because we all know I like to do that. Just makes it easy. Instead of having to drive all the way there, pick it up, and then take it, it's a little faster to just drive there, start, and then go from there, right? So we're taking a pickup from El Dorado, Arkansas, down to Monroe, Louisiana. It's not a very long trip to start, but at least it gets us into Louisiana, and then we can go from there. And with us doing external contracts, that'll count for the World of Truck event, or World of Trucks, sorry. It'll count for that event, so we can get that progress along with actually discovering some stuff. And I haven't really seen anything. I didn't really look at anything, so I'm not entirely sure what we're gonna find. But either way, I'm gonna quickly jump in here, and then I will jump us in. Go. And then like take a second. Oh, there we go. Okay. So yeah, basically, as we hook up, I think I got this height-wise lined up and everything. I've noticed this truck is terrible. That's the one disadvantage to the drop frame on this truck. It doesn't just hook right up like a normal truck does for some reason. So we will get this guy coupled on. Turn this down on my end a little bit here. I don't think it's too bad on your guys' end. The music isn't too loud or anything. It's not overpowering. I want to make sure before we get too far into this, because, well, yeah. Um, but yeah, like I was saying, we got some changes to the setup. Some stuff has moved. There's also been an addition. Like I said, there's another one coming. What I mean by that is over the holidays, I was gifted from the parents. I got a Thrustmaster Simtask farm stick. So now, like, especially when it comes to like us doing farming sim and us having to deal with loaders and stuff, it's a lot easier now because I actually have a joystick to operate the arm. But I do actually have it mapped out a little bit for ATS. So like, I've got a couple of the switches on here set for Windows. One is set for one button is our UI mirrors, and the fact that it's just labeled F2 on the stick is just a happy coincidence, being that that's the button, same button for the UI mirrors, so it's really easy to remember. Jump inside here, but I've also got stuff like our dash, our little center screen there. I got the menu button on that. One of the buttons. I set the actual joystick up as a camera, so we can use it to turn, look up, look down, right? Like if we're coming up to a corner or something, we can look over and go, or there is still the option of the mouse, right? That is still a thing. I have not found the key binding for the zoom, like when we're outside, the zoom in and the zoom out. I have no idea what keybind that is. I can't find it. I've looked through pretty much everything, but there's actually a wheel on the farm stick that you can use for a zoom. And I wanted to map it to the wheel, so that way when we're sitting here using the farm stick, we can use the little zoom wheel that's on it, right? Like, that zoom in isn't me, that's just because there's a trailer there, right? So there's a hard surface. It does it with trailers, buildings, all of them. Alright. But let us hit the road here. I will keep explaining it a little bit on the way. I was also going through settings. Like I said, I went looking for keybinds, looking for the zoom, and of course, find some other stuff. Apparently, at some point, I'm not sure when, but they have actually added a keybind set for trailer suspension. And I had no idea. Like, you got your truck suspension, and like, I'll stop here real quick. Like, your back suspension, your forward suspension, and then you got to reset. Well, now, apparently, I have this also keybind to the farm stick, so. But you can go trailer suspension up, trailer suspension down. Like, apparently that is a thing that's been added recently. When it got added, I have absolutely no idea. But apparently that's a new thing. And then also during the holidays and the process of all that, I went and finally bought a wall mount. So now my TV that usually has my OBS on it doesn't have to sit like on the little like TV tray with the computer and block the computer in. So I finally got that up and mounted on the wall. Oh, 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 oh. Okay. Whatever, man. um, but yeah, I finally got that up and mounted on the wall, so it's out of the way. And so, of course, here we go. There's our gear. In doing so, it gave me the chance to actually drop my monitor and like the big main bar I have that holds my monitor. It gave me a chance to actually bring that down to like a normal, like somewhat decent height. I did have a couple days there where I had it down a little low. Like had to like drop the chair kind of and like mounted the wheel to the desk as opposed to the actual like plate it usually sits on. And then after a couple days trying to drive like that, and of course every time you go and turn the wheel, it shakes the entire freaking desk. I need to be in the other lane. Damn it. Oh well. I don't know if he hit me or he hit the other car. I'm not sure. Maybe the other car by the looks of it. It's okay. I guess it's one bonus to a big rig. Everyone else gets up and goes a little faster than I do. Come on. Come on. There we go. I hate being that guy, but sometimes I gotta be that guy. You know what? I will take sitting, waiting in a light for that. That's fair enough, actually. uh, um, but yeah, I got farm stick. I got a wall mount for the TV. I actually have a actual like webcam coming. It should be here Saturday. I'm pretty sure is what it said. So that's why I said probably for this week it'll be no tracking on the model except for the lip sync, is because yeah, I have no camera. I have no way to mount a camera. So I'm like, you know what? We'll just go with an actual webcam that literally sits on the top of my monitor, and we'll use that, right? Like, and I mean, I can't complain. After shipping and taxes, it was $41 Canadian. And I mean, I'm not expecting it to be an amazing webcam, but I mean, I don't actually need it for my face. I just, well, like, I do, but I don't. And basically, I just need it to track movement, essentially. So when it comes to that, I'm not horribly picky on what kind of webcam. In gear, please. Thank you. Okay, after this curve, we're gonna take a quick look at the map. So I want to see if we're in Louisiana yet. Maybe. Or at least we're pretty freaking close, I imagine. Oh, can you stay over? Okay, sorry. I'll take. Oh, okay, not quite. Okay, we're going to take a right. Basically, just as it starts to curve to the right. We'll leave the border. Okay. Sorry, I wanted to check that real quick. Because, like, some of this stuff looks like we're almost in Louisiana already. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Stay in our lane here. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I am not a perfect driver. I don't strive to be a perfect driver kind of thing. So there will be screw ups and everything else, and I am perfectly okay with that. Like, I'm not out here trying to be the most perfect friggin' truck driver. Like, there is definitely, I can't really say there's clips of it because I haven't actually gone through and cut anything up and made it short for him yet. But go looking on like the YouTube because that essentially kind of just become a like Twitch archive almost. Essentially is what it's become. It's become like a VOD archive for me. Like I went from doing like actually like somewhat YouTube videos to started streaming, and I was like, you know what? Screw it. Like I haven't actually looked at my YouTube in oh crap, I don't at least probably a few months. I mean, I haven't really been doing much the last couple weeks, the holidays and New Year's and all that stuff. It was a little bit of a screwed up freaking Christmas though. Like, usually there'd be like 2, 3 places we'd be going for Christmas every year, and we'd be out of town always with family. Christmas morning, Christmas Eve, stuff like that. And then this year was Christmas Eve and most of Christmas Day we sat at home, and then my uncle was basically like, "Well, come out to the farm for frickin' Christmas supper." It's like, okay. So we went out and we went and got a hotel after in town and went up and spent some time with. Oh, sorry. Trying to shift with coffee cup in hand is a little bit of a predicament. Okay, coffee cup down. Um, but yeah, we went up and Christmas Day, or not Christmas Day, sorry, Boxing Day. Dude, don't stop. Come on. I have healed. Like, I have to wait for you. Um, yeah, no, that was Boxing Day. Sorry. My bad. Because, yeah, Christmas Day, we stayed home. Basically did our little family Christmas between me and the parents, and yeah, we went out to the farm and hung out there for a bit and had supper and yeah, went in, got a hotel. And then Boxing Day, we frickin' Louisiana border. Perfect. We went to our great grandparents, visited them for a bit, and then we went to the family Christmas that usually we would have on Christmas Day, but didn't end up happening on Christmas Day, so oh well. Stuff changes, it happens. Not much you can do. And here, so went and did that, did a gift exchange. And of course, you know, you get some members of the family, everyone has them, that they like to like duct tape and actually like wrap the freaking gifts. And it's like, well, I guess it's a good thing my uncle gifted me a knife the night before, and I actually had it in my pocket. So that made opening that pretty easy, which was kind of nice. Because my grandpa's uh, new girlfriend was having issues with hers that he wrapped for her. I mean, he went to town a little bit with the duct tape and other stuff, and like it's never usually just duct tape. It's usually like duct tape, freaking packing tape, freaking. They say they used to have times they would actually use like chicken wire, fishing line, stuff like that, and it's like, oh god. And I'm pretty sure I remember some of it. Anything coming? Oh. And I must say, I love having nose mirrors for getting around corners sometimes. Um, Man, it is, for the most part, pretty uneventful. You know, did gifts, all the kids got gifts like they usually do. And then, yeah, hung out there for a bit, and then drove home. Ruined road driving home was, well, needless to say, there was not really a road. It was a little covered in snow. But there's on one highway that's usually not taken care of that much when it comes to like plows and stuff. Okay, turn this on. perfect. Okay, we are here already. Nice. Oh, a little laggy there for a second. Although I must say we're doing pretty decent though. Well, the map definitely makes that look a lot shorter than it is. Oh, do we actually have a... No. Okay. Suppose I should make sure I actually have red light. No, I think I know it was red when I stopped, but... Before I should probably make sure. Center here. Yeah, and then New Year's, I didn't do much. Like, like I said, like they're just changing the setup and stuff, and that was a little bit of a in progress thing. I almost had a moment doing the wall mount, freaking, because I got a wall mount that's for like a 19 to a 50-inch TV, and I think mine's like maybe a 32, if that. So, like, it's not a very big TV, and it's not very heavy either. Like, it's new enough, it's not that heavy. So I wasn't worried about, like, the weight on it. Um, but going to hang the mount for it, and looking for a stud. And of course, using a little bit of old-fashioned techniques and stuff, because, well, I don't have an actual stud finder. Thought we did, but apparently we don't. Okay, there we go. So, had to, do it the old-fashioned way, tap with a hammer, put a nail in a couple spots, take a couple measurements. Usually, studs, at least around here, are supposed to be like 16 inches apart, around that kind of thing. Ah, yes. Our dreaded corner that we hate so much. um, and of course, go and measure it out, right? And then put a nail in, hoping, like it should hit a stud. Nope, no stud. Absolutely nothing. It's like, okay, what the crap? So it's like, okay, well, let's try this. And instead of 16 inches, we went 18, because sometimes they'll do that. They'll go like 18 inches, a little bit more. And it's like, okay, whatever. So put one in at 18, hoping to hit a stud. Nope, no stud. And it's like, okay, seriously, where the crap is the stud? And then Dad brought up something about 24s, and I was like, I don't think they're 24s. Like, you wouldn't think they'd be 24s. You'd think they'd be a little bit better and closer. Nope, turns out they're 24s. So it's like, well, 24 inches, 2 foot. It's like, that's a little bit bigger than the mount, because the mount on the far sides, the far holes that you could drill into, were 16-inch. That's one reason I was like, okay, well, it should work, right? Like, put it up and away you go. Like, okay, no. So it's like, well, I guess I was almost gonna have the moment of, well, crap, now I need to go and frickin' return it and get a bigger one, and I'd already stopped the frickin' dispensary after that, so I probably wouldn't have the money to frickin' buy the bigger one. And he's like, well, just go grab a frickin' 2x4 and frickin' screw it into the wall. Or you, like, screw it at the 2 foot mark, 24-inch mark. So you're basically screwing a stud to a stud, and it's like, oh, shit. Well, crap, I didn't even think of that. So I freaking walk out, and I grabbed a, like, 2.5 foot 2x4, and I freaking essentially measured it out, so there's a little bit of overhang over each stud that's in the wall, to hopefully distribute weight a little bit better. And I got 4 freaking screws put in, 2 on each side, and yeah, as soon as I put, like, the first 2 in, like, top one on, like, the left side and the bottom one on the right side kind of thing. Let's get that dropped. It literally, like, the stud was not moving, and it's like, okay, well, I'm still putting the extras in, just in case, because I'm not chancing that, especially when it sits right above my computer. So, got that screwed in, and then I screwed basically the mount to that 2x4, and then it was a matter of screw the 2 actual, like, holding brackets onto the back of the TV, and it literally just, like, sits on the top lip and then just clicks into the bottom, and it's held in by a couple latches. And if I want to undo them, they got a string on the bottom of each, so you just grab them, pull down, it lets the latch loose, and you can just, like, lift off, like, pull out, and then just lift up, and TV comes right off the wall. So, but I will say it's definitely nice to have it out of the way. Declutters a little bit, considering the farm stick kind of clutters a little bit on the desk. But disadvantage of not having a very big desk. Oh well, not too worried about it. I'm more surprised that this desk is still standing even. Like, I can almost pull, like, just the top piece off without unscrewing it. Like, it's pretty much let go. Freaking, it's wobbly as crap. If I didn't have a side brace or a couple braces in, a couple of the braces in going from the side, like side to side, it would just flop over. And it either flop on the wall, flop on the bed. Because I don't think it'd be close enough to actually hit the frame for the wheel and everything, so. Under this guy real quick here. Probably would have helped if I would have stayed in gear. Okay. And yeah, I went back through and switched the background again. Like, the winter one is still up and active, while the Winterland event is. But I just got sick of dealing with the flashbang every time I opened up the menu for something. It's like, holy crap. So I'm like, nope, we're gonna switch it, put a different one in. Okay, so what do we got going from here? I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I'm basically kind of just going for anywhere in Louisiana. Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad one. Kind of almost want to try it, but at the same point, I'm like, I don't know. You know, in the yard, I'd probably get stuck. What about this guy? Yeah. And it's not a long trip. Most of these won't be. Louisiana's not a horribly big state. It's not like we're trying to do like across frickin' Texas or something, right? So, but at least the nice thing is, it's not far. Okay, got that off for a little bit. That's one of the worst parts. Got the farm stick, got it set up for the camera and everything. Don't even always use it for the camera. Although I have sometimes I use it religiously for the camera. uh, but it's more nice, especially just to have extra buttons that isn't the keyboard, right? And then, like I said, when it comes to like farming sim, stuff like our forklift, our loader, telehandler, um, yeah, I don't think I have a skid steer. So, yeah, stuff like that that actually has like an arm on it, we can actually use without having to completely like drag the mouse across the entire desk to try and use it. Over the by oh, Steam achievement. I assume there's another bridge like that somewhere. That's probably going to be the other half of that achievement. It's almost something else I've thought about doing too. Going back to like going through the achievements for some of the older DLCs and stuff. Because I know there's a decent little chunk of them that I have, but there's also a decent little chunk that I don't have, right? So I go through, figure out what I need for them. And... oh. I guess it's a good thing I saw the trailer. That could have been bad. That would have definitely been one for the accident counter. And oh, we're gonna need the lane. So just turn that on now. Let this guy sneak by. Yeah, we'll just sneak on over here. And oh no, okay, we do need this. I was curious almost for a second. It's like, do I need the actual gate or do I just need the little one? Little one. Okay, do our security check here. I assume we're good. Oh. Alright, where is our trailer? Perfect, right there. Oops, actually, we'll go in wide here. And then we can just swing in here. Alright, top back in. There's 5 mirrors. I mean, like, yes, I know I can just hit the button and be like, bam, mirror. But sometimes it's nice only driving with one. It doesn't make the left side feel quite as, cluttered. Just depending on the truck, like, that's a lot of mirrors when you have the UI mirror up as well as your normal mirrors. Okay, lift the back end. Just slide in nice. Oh, you're gonna... Okay, there we go. Alright. Back coupled. Reset. Now the legs are up. That'd be one of the freaking... probably scariest things to do would be freaking going. You lift your suspension, and then you go to freaking readjust, like set it, reset it. When you back up and you don't have the legs up, and you just drive them into the ground. At least I imagine that's what would happen. Like, you would think that's what would happen. Right? Because if you actually get it hooked up at that height, and then you just drop it without lifting the legs. Make sure here. Okay, yeah, we definitely don't want it that way. That way goes around the building. Oh, nice. Nice. I probably could have kept crawling for that, but that's okay. Yeah, I'll definitely say the sound of this thing never gets old. It just... the way they did the frickin' the sound of the tune Cummins for this truck sounds so good. Like, I have definitely said before, like, this has become, like, definitely one of my favorite trucks. And that is definitely one of the reasons for it. Yeah, no, that is definitely, definitely a leading factor for it. Between that and the way it drives, the way it shifts, is actually really nice. Like, it is actually surprisingly really lenient when it comes to my shifts. I know sometimes I am just horrible. I'm grinding gears all the time. But this thing, it just... it's like, oh, you're about to grind? Nope, never mind, you're just gonna catch that gear. Right, like... and if I do grind, I don't usually hear it. It just basically gives me a reason to, get myself a Moza AB9. I know a lot of people actually use them for, like, flight stick bases. Like, as an actual force feedback, flight stick base. But they also have software in it. They're putting software, or At one point they were putting software, I'm pretty sure it's in and implemented, but they actually implemented software for an H pattern shifter. So you can use it as a force feedback racing shifter, trucking shifter. Are you, oh, you're just gonna let me in? Okay, sweet. Thank you. Yeah, I know there's software for an H pattern you can set up. Places like ATS Accessories. I do believe he actually has like shifter adapters. So instead of having just like the basic knob that they give you, you can actually put an adapter on and then put like an extension on it or something if you want, and then put like your 18 speed knob on or like 13 speed, right? Like your actual shifter knob that has your range selector, your splitter. Like, I know I can't talk, I still have mine, even though it doesn't work. But that was my own fault, that's what I get for breaking it. So, until I can afford to get a new one, we will just run with buttons on the wheel. Oh, come on, gear please. I guess we are probably a bit slow for said gear. And yes, I know, there's a no entrance thing there. I ain't turning here, I'm turning at the next one. But at least this way, people know turning when I get here. There'd definitely be a moment like this is where you would screw up American Truck Sim and Euro Truck Sim. Euro Truck Sim, I can just turn right now. American Truck Sim, I can't turn. Well, like, physically, yes, I can just turn. But technically, legally, no, I can't just turn. Not on a red. But that's just me being friggin' technical. But yeah, no, like I was saying, like, I'd like to get my hands eventually on an EB9, because that would actually make my shifts probably a bit better, because I would actually have like a force feedback. Like I could feel the gear grind, right? Like ATS, they have um like a force feedback thing in the wheel. Like the wheel will shake if you grind your gear, and then it makes noise. But that's about it. I guess depends on how high you have to turn it up. That can be quite violent sometimes. As someone who went through and played with settings, is if you turn it up too high, it's quite violent. Um, Same with like engine resonance, stuff like that. If you have everything turned up too high, it's just not a good day. It'll literally take your wheel and just be like, and start throwing your truck around. Especially when it comes to uneven roads, right? Like you bounce from one side to the other. It just takes that and it makes you feel like you're in a frickin', like almost worse than in a boat. It'd be like in a boat on something like the worst seas ever kind of thing. So, yeah, you definitely don't want to take with most of that stuff and crank it right up. And if you do, well, pray for you, have fun, because it wasn't exactly fun. That's why I went through and did a little bit of tuning, turned some stuff down. I also turned the overall force feedback down, I think by 10-20%. when I had it hooked or mounted on the desk for the couple days there. Because, yeah, like I said, I'd go and try and turn the wheel, and, well, I would literally take the entire desk almost and, like, move it to the left or move it to the right. And then, like, if you hit a bump or something and it shifted, it literally, like, shifted the desk left to right. And it's like, oh, okay, we should, turn that down a little bit. I mean, now that I have it back on its actual, like, stand, I could turn it back up, but I don't know. It's kind of nice not having to fight horribly hard. Like, there is still resistance to it, but it's not, I'm not, like, fighting, right? I think I found that kind of just sweet spot. Usually smooth enough when I'm backing up that I can just crank one side to the other if I have to. Oh, that turn. My bad. Good thing I looked at that before I went through the intersection, I guess. Excuse me. But, I don't know, went in and turned the wheel down a little bit. I actually went through and got the proper drivers for it. Like, I uninstalled the other drivers that I had for, like, the TMX and other stuff. Like, I even went through, like, the downloads, everything else, like, way back when, and cleared that stuff out and reinstalled it. And then, of course, you know, you do your computer restart after you install it, and then once you restart, you're good to go. So, I went through, did that, and I mean, like, don't get me wrong, like, I didn't have any issues with it before. And it probably still had the old drivers. But I went through and actually, like, downloaded the new ones, updated it. So, yeah, we should be running real nice when it comes to the wheel. Although, if I do have the opportunity, I would actually probably switch my entire Thrustmaster setup. I guess almost entire. Because the farm stick's a little different, it's a little separate. Um, but, well, actually, maybe not the shifter. I'm not sure. But, like, wheel and pedals, I, depending on what the modes of pedals are actually like, because I've heard kind of mixed stuff on them, I would actually really like to swap out my Thrustmaster for a Moza base. Because then at least that way I can put a TSW on and have like a proper sized wheel again for trucking. Because there's definitely one thing I will say I do miss, is having the bigger wheel. Like, don't get me wrong, there's definitely sometimes it's a little bit of a pain, but a lot of times it actually felt easier to turn. Can't see freaking anything. Um, but yeah, no, like, just for the fact of how big it is compared to, like, a T150 like I'm using right now, like, it was a huge difference. Okay, roll this guy up here. Like, when I had, basically what I did was I took my T150 and I upgraded for a T300, but I went with just the actual, like, base on its own, like, just the hub base, no wheel, no pedals. I mean, I already had the pedal set, everything else, so I wasn't worried about that. And then I went and bought a 16-inch, oh, come on, SCI wheel. Like an actual, like, semi steering wheel. And threw that on, it was good, it was going good. And then I went to play the one day, and I had absolutely no power, anything in the wheelbase. Because of course, being a real steering wheel, there's no buttons or anything on it, right? So I didn't have to worry about that. Although that did make it a little bit of a pain for having some stuff mapped out, like my signal lights and like my buttons to look left and right kind of thing got a little screwed up because I had no buttons on the wheel to use. Other than that, though, like it was pretty nice. It was nice having an actual like normal sized wheel. But yeah, I went on and my wheelbase wasn't registering, and I was like, what the crap? And like, no matter what outlet I tried or what USB port I tried, didn't matter. None of them worked. Come on. Here, please. Thank you. Go. Yeah, it literally just no power, no nothing. And I was like, well, what the crap? So I'm assuming after calibrating so many times, because I mean, like, the wheel was not exactly like the lightest wheel, especially for a racing sim wheelbase. Like, it is a pretty heavy wheel. And so I have a feeling what happened is when it would calibrate, basically, because it would spin all the way to one side, smack off the bump stop essentially, spin all the way to the other, do the same thing. So I have a feeling is when it would hit the end of either side, it started tearing connections out over time. Is what I'm assuming. I don't know, I never actually took it apart to look at it. I wasn't gonna screw with it, and it was probably well outside warranty, and it's like, well, so much for that. So at that point, I was just like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna go back to the old wheelbase and basically, well, I can't really say that because at that point I gave wheelbase to a buddy of mine. It's a birthday present. So I had to go find myself another one. That's where my TMX came in. I found that basically on Facebook Marketplace. Drove up, met the guy. I paid him, I think, $10 less than he was asking. So I mean, I wasn't gonna complain. It wasn't too bad. It's gonna be a fun spot to turn around. Okay. Make sure we don't actually smack a wall here. Um, yeah, I don't know. I drove up like an hour away that I had to drive for it, which, I mean, wasn't that bad. Just took the little blue Chevy I had at the time and drove up, and fun amusing part was basically driving into like a city center almost compared to like my small city, like big town kind of thing. That was a little interesting. I'm not a fan for driving in the big city. I just, nope, I don't like it. Especially up here where I live. Yeah, no, I is good. Like, I will drive up there if I have to. Right, like going to get something, whatever else. But I'm not gonna like it. I'm probably gonna complain the entire time. But that's because I've driven up there enough for work and everything else, and I'm like, no, I'm not freaking, I don't like screwing with this. Because, like, my one job I used to have, I was literally up there. Crap, I had some weeks I was up there literally every day of the week. Going to pick up parts and other stuff, and It's like, well, it's like, get used to it a bit. Yes, absolutely. But it's still like, I still don't like doing it. Okay. Get out here. Okay, let's get at least somewhat close to the entrance here. Just in case our next one does come out of this yard. Okay, contracts. We're not doing too horrible. We're slowly making our way down. We can take cattle down. Oh, that's something I haven't done for a bit. We got some grain going down there. What do we think? Should we go with cattle or should we go with grain? The grain would be a little bit longer of a trip. Not by much, but about 30 miles. It's not too bad. Where do I just did a grain trail not long ago. Okay. Rolling cattle on that one. Just for the fact that I haven't actually hauled a cattle trailer in a good while. Even though I have one. Like, I actually own a cattle trailer. Oh, that's not bad. It's just over there. Okay. One of them. No one. That's a good thing we turned when we did. And yeah, I thought so. Let's go up here. Are you turning? No, he's not turning. Okay, cool. Sweet. Just wanted to make sure it's like, I'm probably gonna have to back up if you are turning. Because, yeah. Luckily, though, I don't have a trailer, so I don't have to worry about that. Well, not yet, at least. But yeah, no, I freaking was sitting here earlier, and I'm like, yeah, I have no way to freaking put my phone mount back up or anything, and it's like, damn it. Like, I wanted this trip, but I'm gonna have no tracking. And then I hit the button, I'm like, you know what? Screw it. We'll just do streams this week without tracking. So, I'm hoping when the webcam gets here, as long as it actually gets here on Saturday, should make a difference. It should also give me a day to frickin' set up and make sure everything works. I mean, I don't think it should take much. It should basically be just like program and then use that program in Rudo. Switch it basically from the droid cam over to whatever webcam. Maybe. There might be something else in it. I don't quite remember with Varudo.
I'll have to take a look when I get the webcam. I mean, worst comes to worst, I'm not too worried about Naruto tutorials or anything, because if you know who Kana is, she's basically it's a good way to put it. Um, she does a lot of tutorial videos for stuff like Naruto and almost like anything when it comes to like 3D VTubing. Like the girl definitely knows her stuff. So lots of people went to her for advice, everything else. But she also has a whole playlist on YouTube and everything. For Naruto, she's got stuff for like BC Face, I'm pretty sure like V Bridger, VTube Studio, I think. Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong on that. But from what I could see and I went looking, I mean, don't get me wrong, I was looking for primarily like Naruto stuff. Because that's what I use, right? But and amongst all of the Naruto stuff that I had and I was looking at, there's a whole bunch of other stuff, and it's like, oh crap, like lots of stuff, lots of tutorials, how to do this and that, like, and they're not like small tutorials, like they're actually like good, decent tutorials, and will actually like explain stuff to you. And come on, oh, there we go. Screwed up my gears for a second there. uh, but yeah, no, like when it comes to anything 3D VTuber and like setting it up, stuff like that, absolutely, like she is the one you want to go like check out, take a look at her content. It's all great stuff. Recommend all of it, especially if you're looking into like getting into VTubing kind of thing. Like I know I had the one part there during the stream one day where I like went through how I did it when I did mine, and you gotta remember, like I did mine completely on my own by myself, and I did it for free. And then like I used like Kana's tutorials for stuff like setting it up in Naruto and getting tracking and stuff going. Um, like I know I'm definitely probably going to be looking at the. Well, that's a small road. That's a small road. Okay. Um, like I said, I know I'm definitely probably going to be looking at her videos on doing like expressions and stuff in Naruto because, like I've said before, that's one thing I want to actually get focused in a little bit more. And being that I'll actually have like an actual webcam, it should hopefully work a bit better than the phone. I am also hoping, I don't know if it will be or not, but I'm hoping it will track at a higher FPS than the phone does. Because like the media pipe tracker I have set up for the phone tracks at 30 FPS, usually around there. That's how we get this trailer. Okay. Come here real quick. Hazards on. Quick beep of the horn. People know we're moving. Go. It's gonna be fun trying to get out. There it is. being that my suspension is up, we should be able. Hopefully, if we back in slow enough, it might just hook up. Sometimes it'll do it like, just like crawling in. Oh, nope. That one won't. I screwed that one up. Yeah, see? Sometimes it'll just, if you're crawling ever so slightly, it'll just sneak in no problem. Alright. Turn our hazards off. Our trailer up. Leave our suspension up for now. And then when we get on the road, we'll drop it again. Alright. Okay. Yeah. Hoping the new webcam will actually make stuff a little bit easier. Record a little bit higher. But more importantly, it's more just so I have something that can actually just sit on the computer and I don't have to worry about it. Instead of having to try and hook up the phone and like, right, like, I'd rather something to just be able to sit on the monitor. Then I don't have to deal with a phone mount and places to stick that. Because, yeah, there's like nowhere on the setup really anymore that I could stick it, that I would get a decent, like, spot to actually track everything. But also not be right in the way, right in the middle of my screen. So I had to give in. It's like, okay. So I went looking, I found one, it was like $33 or whatever, and then yeah, by the time you add like shipping and taxes, it came out to I think like 41. So really? Oh, there we go. Yeah. We just had to actually get up on the cement there. Okay, and going this way. Okay. That's a little bit of a weird intersection if I say so. Like half service road, half intersection. Alright then. But yeah, that's pretty much all there really has been for setup changes and stuff. Like I said, like the monitor and stuff got lowered when the TV got put on the wall. Arm stick got added. Bought a webcam. I'm literally just waiting for it to basically ship and then wait for that to get here. Because, well, I just ordered that a little bit earlier today. I did that before I went out to the store and everything, so. Let's wait for that to get here, hook that up. Just hoping there ain't too much to do. And then we'll have tracking back, hopefully, for next week. As well as maybe I'll actually sit down while I'm hooking it up and try and get some expressions and stuff figured out. Because, like, I've tried going into them before, and looking, it just confused the absolute crap out of me. I was like, what is all this? So, hopefully I can sit there and I'll probably put video up on the TV, and then I can sit there and basically watch that and then do it in the computer. And you never know, maybe depending on how it goes with the webcam or everything, I might even freaking set up the hand tracking for it too. Naruto just kind of has that built in, so it'll do like face tracking and everything and movement, but you can also set up hand tracking. But depending on what we're doing some days, that probably wouldn't be the best thing, just for the fact of you wouldn't really see my hands doing much, right? Because like we'd be driving or we'd be farming kind of thing, and like if I'm playing like World of Warcraft, which I did actually start another time runner and have been playing that for the last couple days. It's just about at level 80 already. I think I logged off yesterday and it was at level 65. But I decided to screw it, and I like completely changed stuff up. Like, my main was a hunter. My first time runner, at least for the Legion remix, was a hunter. Um, but I decided for the second character, I was like, let's try something that, you know, like I haven't done, I don't have one of. I mean, there's a couple classes I don't have, but other than that, I do actually have almost one of every class. Oop, 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 oop. Ooh, not that far down. Just about went to first. That would have been a money shift and a half. Yeah. I also moved the tablet. So instead of being under the monitor, it's beside the monitor on the left side. Pretty much the spot where I want to put like a second monitor. But for now, the tablet can have it. Okay, there we go. Alright. We good? Oh, we got curve. That's not worry. But yeah, no, like I was saying, I started another time runner. It's just about freaking max level already. I decided to actually go with a priest, surprisingly or not. So right now, for the process of leveling up, he is a shadow priest, just for like damage, right? It's a lot easier to level up when you're an actual like DPS spec as opposed to trying to do it with one of the healer specs. But I do have, because they brought the artifacts and everything back for the Legion remix, I actually have both artifacts for Shadow and Holy. So if I want, I literally can just switch my spec and I can start healing. And I mean, I had to switch spec to get the artifact anyway. That was a little bit of a interesting predicament. Because it was basically, it's like, yeah, I can't start the quest for your second artifact, and then it's like, bam. Instant talent change, like, specialization change, and it's like, what the crap, man? Like, didn't give me a chance to switch it myself or nothing. No, it's just like, nope, you can, here you go. You're now list spec to go for the artifact. I mean, like, I get it, because you need to be that spec to wield it. But it's like, I don't need to do the whole quest chain and everything in that spec. So, a lot of times, basically, it would be accept the quest, it switches your spec, you switch back really quick, and then just go through the quest chain, and then switch your spec back to equip your artifact, finish off the quest chain, and then you can just switch between them. And as you level up the one, the other one levels up with it, so, like, not that bad. It's nice and easy to get multiple artifacts up. Like, my hunter has all 3 of them from the remix. My priest has 2 of the 3 so far. So, I guess it's not bad. And I must say, playing a priest, I'm a little surprised. Like, it is definitely, like, single target focused, absolutely. But it's not bad. They do, like, a decent amount of damage, too. But that's just some of their abilities, right? That's one other thing. Like, the amount of abilities they have, even a low level. Like, I jumped in because I made the time runner. And time runners, they start them off at level 10. And I freaking basically logged in and I had a bar. Oh, crap. I need to turn here. Sorry, guys. I need to get in. Got it? Okay, good. I was gonna say, like, no way you should freaking hit me from there. I'm still over my line. But yeah, no, I basically spent the last 2, 3 days. Oh, pardon me. Sorry about that. Um, I basically spent the last 2, 3 days running through part of Legion with a priest, and I mean, it's not actually that bad. Like, it definitely might become one of the more, one of my more popular classes. Like, I might actually have to start playing more. Because, I mean, yeah, even though I logged in and I had a bar and a half full of abilities and attacks, it's like, it does a lot right off the bat. Once you basically figure out the other view and, like, shorten it down, condense it down a bit, it definitely gets a little bit easier. This way. Oh, crap. Long ways down. Okay. Like, I must also say, though, I ran through with a priest. It's definitely been not bad. Like I said, they do definitely have some, like, decent damage, stuff like that. But when you go from a class that wears mail and nothing but mail to an all-call-off class, it is definitely a little bit of a change when you realize it's like, oh, hey, I can't quite just take hits like I could on the other character. Like, the hunters, they wear all mail, or at least nowadays they do. Where's this friggin'... It's on the side of the building, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Yep, okay. So we're gonna spin right around here. Avoid the tank. That down so we can see. Yeah, I didn't think that would do anything. Beacon is useless right now. Even though it's not really a beacon, it's just the lights on the back of the cab. Let's in a little bit more here. Come on. Oh. That turned out pretty decent, actually. Mark that. Not quite the straightest, but you know what? Good enough for me. Alright, this guy drop real quick here. Here, what do we? Okay. Alright, one, two levels here. Perfect. Okay. I guess I'll get another one set up here. Okay, 1 second. Which town are we actually technically like closest to? Alexandria? Okay, we might have a little bit of a drive back in to pick one up, but that's not too big of a deal. That could work. That one's literally right over there. And, oh, yeah, nice. That's the other new DLC I bought along with Louisiana. I picked up the Crone DLC too, so we actually should have all those cargoes. And being that it's literally right here, I can't really complain with that. There's one going to bed. That's not too bad. 130 miles, 72 miles. You know what? Let's run down to Lake Charles first, get that done at least, and then if we have to, we can come back and go over around. Alright, so it shouldn't be very far from us in the yard. Yeah, I didn't think so. Should be, yep, right there. Damn. I didn't even realize that with the Crone pack, but it's gonna be, like, that is basically our mower in Farm Sim. Same thing. That's what I used to mow my grass for my hay and my silage. Oh, and an even coupled nice for us this time. Sweet. Okay, 72 miles. It's not that bad. How are we doing for? I'll say there's one disadvantage to having TV on the wall. The monitor covering the bottom slightly. Well, I have to actually sit up to see the bottom. If I do that, I can't really drive it. So. Alright, we're gonna have in, so I think after this trip we'll do a little break time, let everyone actually, get up, move around. You go for a smoke and a toke kind of thing. And then we'll probably jump back in for a few more for the day. After that, maybe call it. Might switch over to Warcraft and go a little bit longer today. I'm not too sure yet. We'll see how I'm feeling, essentially. Oh yeah, no, like this is quite literally a frickin' like hour more in Farm Sim 22. Like exactly. I find that amusing. Like I knew when I bought the Chrome pack. I know I recognize the name, but it didn't click in until now that it's like, oh crap, like that's the mower and stuff like that. Oh, like I knew there was other stuff, but I wasn't very um focused on it. I was more looking, and with the Steam sale that was on, like there was no way I was complaining about the price or anything, because I essentially picked up the Crone pack for both ATS and ETS for the price of the Chrome pack for ATS. Right? Like it was literally a little bundle thing they had, and it's like, hey, you buy it for both games, you only buy it once, effectively. Like you get both, but you pay for one. I was like, I pay the same price and I get the Chrome pack for just ATS, or do I get it for both ETS and ATS? And it's like, well, at that point, it kind of makes no sense to go with the one for just ATS, especially if I have both games, right? So I was like, you know what? No. We'll go with the one for both ATS and ETS, because, well, it's the same price as the one for just ATS, or just ETS. So I was like, yeah, no, I might as well. Yeah, like I said at that point, like, it'd be kind of foolish not to, right? Like, if it's there and it's the same price, but you get two, that, you might as well, right? So, for the Crown DLC for both games, and Louisiana DLC for ATS, yeah, it was like 21 bucks or something. So I was like, that's pretty decent. Like, I knew Louisiana was gonna be full price because it just came out. I was expecting that, but just like any other state, it's only 15.50-ish full price. I mean, like, you throw tax and stuff on, it's a tiny bit more, yes, but, right, like, just base price, like, bro, really? I mean, like, yes, I know I'm going a little slow, but I was also sitting there. I was watching YouTube the one day, and I actually found dude that did a video on like, you know, usual cost and stuff of American Truck Sim or Euro Truck Sim, right? You know, like base game, all the DLCs, stuff like that, and you add it up, and it's not actually that far from each other. Like to buy ATS, all the DLCs, everything, and like all the map DLCs, the cargo packs, the tuning packs, like everything. You're looking around, I think it was $240, something like that, but that's literally absolutely everything. Base game included, right? Um, and then I think it was like 250 euros or something. Is like you could buy the entirety of ETS2 and all of its DLCs. But then you also rent down, like, if you actually wait for, like, Steam sales and stuff, you know, like, take a couple of years, like, build it up, right? Because he made a good point. It's like, you do still actually have all of the original content you bought, right? Like, if you buy the base game and say, like, maybe one or two DLCs, you still actually have the base game itself and the one or two DLCs while you work on the other stuff. So it's not like you have to wait for a whole new game, right? It's like you still have the base game regardless. It's just add-ons. And basically it was after Steam sales, stuff like that, you know, like actually like paying attention, saving some money. You go from spending about $240, 250 euros ish to spending, I do believe it was around uh 80, like $80, 80, 85 euros kind of thing. And that's if you play smart and you look and you watch for the sales and you get the DLCs and everything on sale, right? Which, I mean, recently, and I think it's been kind of frequent because it almost seems like they do a sale every time that they release a new freaking um, DLC, or at least that's just the way it lines up. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. Instead of spending $15 on a DLC, I'd rather spend 5 or even like 7, right? Like I am all game for that. And then the fact that like the base game itself drops from 26 bucks down to $5, like 5.50, is like a steal for the amount of content and everything that these games have. Like spending $5 on it is definitely like that's a steal of a deal. And then yeah, you catch all the DLCs and stuff on sale, and it definitely doesn't hurt the wallet as much. Okay, now where did I screw this up last time? We can just stay. Okay. Oh, that's probably it. Is I probably went down around the loop when I was supposed to just stay up here. Oh, oh, I got it. Oh, I see. Oh yeah, that's better. I was looking there for a little bit and it's like still 75 miles. It's like, wasn't this entire trip like 74? Hang on a second here. I missed something. But at least it wasn't a very long detour, so that's good. And we gotta go left. Oh, hang on. Never mind. Never mind. Now that I actually get to see the intersection here, gotta go right, then we go left. And whoop. Gear, please. It's not a. Oh, okay, stop right here. I didn't think it'd be right there. Jesus. And basically go up here and go around this corner. Alright. All that screwed up. Screwing myself up here, but oh well. Oh, not that button. This button. There we go. Okay. Let's get over. Okay. And I almost wonder if we're gonna find a run down to the ferries. I'm pretty sure there was ferries in Louisiana. At least from what I remember seeing. Little bits I did see it, I think. Oops. My bad, I took a design. My fault. Okay, where's this thing going? In the back, right? Yep. Okay. Dealt with one of these yards. And to pick up from inside the building. Wasn't actually bad getting out, but first time having to do it where I actually have to get in with the trailer. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. At least they give me some room. And you get, oh boy, straighten out the spot you want. Not always easy. And where's our... Oh, Go. Perfect. Alright. Green, so we'll go ahead and drop. Okay, 1 6. You can check out from under the trailer really quick. Not too worried, we can just sit here for a minute. Pull our parking brake. Apparently my OBS wants to have a little leg. Stream's still going. Looks like it should still be going. Alright, we will. Well, that works. Okay. Give it a minute here to do its thing. But also, like I said, I'm gonna let everyone get up, go for a break. I should probably explain for anyone that is new here that has stopped in. Every hour and a half to 2 hours, 2.5 hours, somewhere in that range, I will basically let everyone get up, go for a break. It's meant a little more for people like me who like to sit at the computer specifically and watch streams. Because, you know, a little bit more control over like chat stuff, right? A little bit easier to find stuff like you can actually see everything, right? So yeah, we like to sit at our PCs and watch streams, but of course, since you're sitting there for hours and hours, it's not the best. So I came up with the break time, but also gives me a chance to basically sneak outside for a cigarette, being that I am a smoker. Yes, yes, yes. I know. Not the best habit or anything, but regardless, I do smoke, so I do like to sneak out myself and have a smoke. So I came up with this as a way to basically be like, hey, if you need to like use the bathroom, if you need something to drink, something to eat, you want to go for a smoke yourself, go for a toke yourself, right? Like this is the perfect time to do it because it's a good 5, probably 10 minutes that everyone can get up, stretch, move around. If you have something you need to do really quick, perfect time for it. So just in case anyone asks, this is a lot more for everyone else than it is for me, but it is partly for me too. So yeah, just in case. But I figured I should probably explain that just in case anyone new has popped in. It's like, well, what the crap is this? This is me giving everyone a chance to get up, move around, do something if you need to. Right? Like get away from the screen for 5-10 minutes. Even if you don't go outside or anything, like that 5-10 minutes can definitely help your eyes. So with that being said, I'm gonna swap our scene over. Um, I am gonna skip the song. Don't get me wrong. I love the fact that Zen did a cover of it. Everything else, they all did amazing on it. But I want something a little more upbeat. But yeah, I'm gonna switch our scene, turn the music back up. I'll see everyone in about 5-10 minutes.
Okay, alright. Rana is back. Sorry about that. I'll do that good stuff at the bathroom real quick. Was not expecting to take quite as long. But, oh well. Either way, we are back. It's good to go. I'm just gonna take a quick look here. I'm in the wrong market. Damn it. Okay, roll the check. There we go. Well, that kind of works out. Alright. Okay, let me jump us back in here. See what I'm talking about here. Taking some UTVs over to Baton Rouge. Not bad little trip, 115 miles. So we're still right in around the range we have been. So, that will be good. And then I'm thinking after that, we'll probably do one more, depending on what we can find and where it's going. And I think we might call her for the day. Got a freaking headache and shit setting in, and I'm not a fan of it right now, so. We will, like I said, probably do a couple more. And call it for a day. It'll probably be a little bit of a shorter-ish stream. Although we are still over the 2-hour mark, so it's not too bad. Alright, let's get this started. I'm pretty sure this is the art I'm literally sitting in. I think. Yep, I thought so. Yeah, it's literally right over to our frickin' left there. Okay, take our break off. Yeah, it's the nice thing with this is that's literally just right here, so it's a matter of just pick it up, hit the road. See if this one will be nice like the last one was. Hopefully. Oh, oh. No, it's just gonna miss it completely. Oh. No. Is our stream dead? I don't think our stream's dead. I think my OBS is just having a moment trying to keep up. Put our suspension up. There we go. Didn't hook in quite as nice as I wanted, but can hop in here. Okay, that's probably a little bit, yeah, that's all. Okay, 1 second. Apparently we need to go through and drop some settings a tiny bit. Let's drop that down slightly. Okay, here's hoping that should help. Where do we jump up to? Okay, well, judging off the audio bars in my OBS, I can tell it's automatically better. We're not running as hot, not running as much, although we're still getting pretty good amount of CPU usage. Or not CPU, sorry, GPU. My bad. We were sitting around like 97, 98. Now we're sitting around like 90, 92 kind of for load, so it's not bad. If we pop out, it does drop a little bit, so yeah, we drop by a good probably like 10%, so that's not bad. But yeah, I look up at my OBS and everything and see the audio bars and stuff lagging a little bit, and it's like, yeah, she's working a lot of hard. Oh yeah, and we've dropped down considerably getting outside. We're down to like 60% now. Oh, 70. Okay. Yeah, 5-ish? Okay. Yeah, so we should be able to sit up top for a bit. And it shouldn't actually be too bad. Automatic suspension reset. Where we at? GPU wise. Okay, now we're down to like 40%. Yeah, oh, that's not good. Oh, people having issues merging on. Yep, and cause an accident. Alright, so we might end up sitting here a little bit. They just closed off my exit the other way. I mean, we could just go on the shoulder, but I'm not gonna pull that. No, I'm gonna be that guy today. I don't feel like it. My question is, why doesn't he just go left? Like, there's another lane there. I don't know if he's gonna be smart enough to realize, oh hey, a lane.
I gotta love traffic. Oh, I wonder who that wasn't me. That one was. That one wasn't. Yeah, I didn't think everyone would be moving very far. It's gonna make me take the shoulder, isn't it? Okay, let me shut that off. Oh. There we go. Okay. They just had to figure their crap out. Now these guys gotta let us in. Where's the dude? There should be a dude right at my frickin'. At least there was. It's literally like right at my drive door pretty much, and it's like, I don't know if I should move just yet. Now, we're out on pretty much open road. So I shouldn't have to worry about too much, as long as guys can actually get going here. Oh, perfect. Don't really matter. We're turning anyway. Okay, we're gonna need big break here. Gonna move? No, fine. I'm just moving. Alright, get speed here. There's one nice thing I will say about the external contracts. A lot of people don't like it, but it actually just limits you at 65. So it's kind of nice to basically get yourself just up to your top gear, keep your foot on the floor, and that's it. You don't gotta do anything else, just steer. And then you don't have to worry about going super fast and flying off stuff or flipping over. And I mean, don't get me wrong, even when you try not to, it still happens. Trust me, I've got video proof of it. Just go look on the YouTube. You go looking through the streams, there's a few in there. I'm not exactly sure which ones exactly, but I remember there's at least a few where I've put a truck on its side and stuff like that. So it is definitely there. You might have to do a little bit of looking. Uh, yeah, like I said, I don't remember what videos exactly, like what streams, and it'd be it'd take probably a little bit for me to go back through all of them and try and figure out which ones are what and which ones are the ones I'm actually looking for. And oh, made a light spike there for a second. Okay. Yeah, no, no, it's coming up the road. Perfect. Go on. Put my foot back on the floor. Still won't have to worry about anyone because everyone will still be going faster. Well, not for long, apparently. Yeah, no, I am definitely curious to see how they're gonna deal with uh, the eastern states. That's gonna be a fun challenge for them. It's the scale they went with and what they basically shrunk everything to works for the western states because they're bigger, right? More open, expansive. But when it comes to the eastern states and them being more, smaller, more compact, like if they kept the same scale, it would literally be you would have some states it would take 45 seconds and you would drive to the completely other side of the state. So, like 45 seconds, like real time. So, they're definitely gonna have a little challenge when it comes to that. But we'll see how they do it. I hope they frickin' manage it and knock it out the park, because that would be awesome. I've definitely been seeing some videos and stuff recently on YouTube, and with the stuff, especially after the live stream that SES did, a lot of people are looking forward to what comes out. And like all the stuff that's gonna come out between like classic trucks and then new trucks and frickin' all the other states. Not to mention we're getting our first province. Frickin' finally! Woohoo! Coming from the Canadian, playing an American game. And then that's another thing is, are they actually going to continue with the provinces and territories? It's like, it would make sense for them to do BC and then like the Yukon territory. Um, right, to get up to Alaska, so you actually have full access into Alaska. Um, but whether they're going to continue and do like, say, like Northwest Territories, Nunavut, or like Alberta, Saskatchewan, I don't know. I kind of hope so. I think it would be kind of amusing and fun to bring my trucks and ATS up to pretty much where I actually live and drive and do stuff around where I live. And then I can see and give an opinion on how accurate stuff is and stuff like that. Because yeah, that would be pretty freaking cool. Yeah, that would definitely be something I could have some fun with. Not to mention, it'd just be cool to see some of the stuff up here in ATS. Like, I know all around Alberta, there's like monuments and statues of different stuff in different towns, right? Like representing the town and stuff like that. Um, and then like, there we go, there we go. It just didn't want to work for me for a second. Shut that off. There it is. Now, where does it? Oh, I'm in a completely back part of the yard, apparently. Okay, so I think I probably came in the wrong spot. We gotta go in here. Yep, here we go. I was a little curious when it didn't actually pop up on the map, so I was like, what? Oh, that makes sense. I didn't realize the yard was quite that deep. So we'll just sneak our way through. I'm trying to figure out where in the crap they got us going here. This is definitely going to be a fun one to try and get out of. Okay. Looks like there's a road up here that goes right to where I'm going, pretty much. A looped one in the back there. There's my... oh, right there. Lost my shifter for a second there. The worst part is, like, I can see the thing. I can see it says what gear I'm in. It's like, I know a gear, but my hand can't find the shifter. Okay, I see. I see. Basically, this one's gonna go up, and we're gonna turn right onto another one that's gonna loop up, and then it's gonna go up there. So our spot's like right there, kind of thing. No train coming? Okay, good. So yeah, no, I will say there's definitely a little bit of an adventure to drop a trailer off. Suppose we probably should turn that on, just in case there's anyone behind us. Thank God there's no one coming down. I must say, I'm definitely not used to having my frickin' tablet, my dashboard, my Steam dashboard off to the left side. It's a little weird. Like, it's a little more level with my, my monitor, like the bottom of my monitor. But, yeah, it's weird. I'm so used to being on the other side below the monitor, and... okay, where am I putting this? Right there. Okay. So we need to come out here.
Well, I must say, this is one hell of a straightaway for a straight back. Well, not entirely straight back, but hell yeah, lots of room. Now we can turn that on, and it'll actually, do something. Okay. This is usually where the joystick will come in handy. At least when it comes to ATS and using it for my camera. Like, I use it for a bunch of other stuff. Like I was saying earlier, from my info stuff on my dash, to my windows, trailer suspension. I've also got, like, my diff lock and a couple other things on there, so it is at least worth it and it's getting used. But desk mounts is probably definitely gonna have to be a thing for it, because if I grab it too hard, it just like and set our beacon off. Drop the trailer. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Show me. Continue. Thanks, I rate 5 out of 10. Okay. Not bad. Halfway there. Oh. Come under the trailer here. I guess let's take a look real quick. Yeah, depending on what we got a little bit of a drive. That would be the closest. What do we got for externals? Back here. And ferry there, ferry there, ferry there. Oh, okay, so there's 3 ferries. Oh. Okay, so if we get some down to the port, that's not bad. Have to go to BP at the port, though. Well, let us see what we can find. It's gonna be all Texas and yeah, okay. Well, 2 fire out. Okay, so we're probably not getting down to the port, but you know what? That's okay. I am fine with that. So let's just run over to New Orleans, because why not? It's not very far to get it back to. Yeah, works for me. Okay. You know the fun part of getting our butts out of this yard. That's a little bit of a venture in, and it's gonna probably be a venture out. Although it might not be
too bad. Follow mostly the same path we went. Coming in. I almost wonder how many miles it actually is. I want to say it's probably like 40 or something from where we were. Because it says 32, but that's from basically the front gate. Not from where we are. Pray to God, no train. Okay, so come up here a bit, and then it should be left, and we should have a straight shot out. Looking at this straight. And oh crap, I think I actually picked the right road right off the bat. God damn. Oh shit, oh shit, look at that. Was not expecting to actually pull that off. Okay. Now we got 30 miles. Well, 31 technically. Although I am a fan of the fact you don't actually have to stop on the way out. As long as you're slow enough that the gate can open and you don't hit it, you're good. Alright. There I can hear a little bit of grinding. That one I can hear. Going down? Not really. Going up? Yeah, I can hear it. There we go. It's just doing a tiny bit too quick with my gear changes. Oop, 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 oop. Hold up here. Oop. I must say, I was definitely not expecting it to be a lineup that far back. But perfect opportunity, for a sip of coffee, so I can't complain. Yeah. Oh crap! I forgot the friggin' model actually had idle animations. It's just a thing Warudo does, but I forgot I had it, so yeah. If you've actually seen the model move at any point, it hasn't actually been me. I have nothing to be able to track, so. I'm just hoping ordering everything actually goes through good. And I get a freaking webcam this weekend. That's a hope, at least. Like, I don't mind having to wait till Saturday for it. Oh. No. A little delayed here, eh? Good job, guys. Good job. But, yeah, no. As long as the webcam actually shows up, means it streams next week. Should actually have tracking everything else. But we should be pretty much running back up and just like normal. And then instead of procrastinating so much, I need to actually sit down and deal with these freaking expressions. Every time I go in and I look at them, I'm like, holy, hey, no, I need to actually like find a video or something on this. Yes, yeah, if you definitely look at it and you're not sure what you're looking at, it is definitely a bit daunting. But I mean, same thing could be said for actual, like rigging and stuff, right? Like use Blender programs, whatever like that. That is definitely a little bit different. That is definitely some in-depth stuff. Like I screwed around with it a little bit, trying to get the wings and stuff figured out, but that didn't exactly go so well. Beeroid Studio just needs to actually add wings. And actual like proper like base set wings that everyone's allowed to use. Different kinds, like your fairy wings, your demon wings, your, you know, uh, bird wings, and everything else, stuff like that, right? Like, just have like a basic, kind of like they do with the tails and stuff already. Because you can take what they have and you can alter it, right? Like, I use my model as an example for this. Not that anyone ever sees it, but I do actually technically have a tail. And with being, Minotaur, stuff like that, bull, I basically took one of the, like the cattails, and I basically like flattened it out, made it wider, right? Like I shaped it more like a cow tail, bull tail, cow tail. You don't know what I mean. So like it's definitely easy to like modify stuff, like as long as they give you like the base and it's actually hooked up in like the bones and everything, right? Because like technically you wrong button. Let's hit that button. There we go. um, you can technically make wings in Beeroid Studio with like hair. I did it. That's how I came up with the look and stuff for mine. But the problem with doing it with hair is bone wise. You, man, I freaking thank you. The problem with doing it bone wise is the bones are hooked up to your head as opposed to like say your shoulders or your shoulder blades, right? Like where wings usually would be. So basically it was you could put them there and everything else, but they would move with your head as you moved your head. Like if I tilted my head to the left kind of thing, my head would tilt over, but my wings would go with my head instead of staying with the body. So like if they put a proper boned um like just base wing in, it doesn't have to be anything special, just set it up and then have like just different textures for it, right? Do like a feathered texture for like avian models or a scaly texture for like your dragons or like your demons, stuff like that. Um, but like there is definitely ways to do it, and I think that would actually add a lot and help a lot of people when it comes to B ride, right? Because then it's something they don't have to worry about trying to outsource, figure out. It's right there. It's built into the program. Like I know they've got tails, they've got hats, they've got glasses, um, and like that's just built in. Like it's not mods or anything, because I'm pretty sure there isn't even a Steam Workshop for um, V-Ride Studio. I know there's one for Warudo. I went looking, and they actually have one thing I was considering was they have a steering wheel thing, so your model can basically sit there and have a steering wheel and drive. So if you're doing something like what we are right now, my model would actually have a steering wheel to drive and stuff like that. Although how to implement that and get the tracking and stuff to work for it, I'm not too sure how that would work. I'd have to look into it. Close that. Oh, no, go straight. Um, but yeah, no, I was scrolling through the workshop the one day and I saw Naruto had a workshop and I was like, what? Really? Because like I said, I'm pretty sure V-Road Studio doesn't. I think there's a couple others that don't. So I wasn't expecting Warudo to actually have one. But it freaking did. There's actually a lot of stuff in there. Like I was surprised from like props to a whole bunch of stuff. Um okay, stay here for a second. 'Cause I'm not sure if I need to exit or not. I do not believe I do. So there's a big truck downhill. I'm not even on the throttle and we're just going. Alright, sounds like a reason to use the Jake brake to me. Because when you think about it, that's kind of a scary thought. I've got frickin' just about 28,000 pounds of mercury chloride. Mercury and chloride, that does not sound like a good combination at all. Hmm. Yeah, 28,000 pounds of that, barreling at 65 and not stopping, that would not be a good thing. I'm getting too busy in the drive here. I haven't even been out and frickin' looking around. Like, usually I'm pretty decent with having frickin' looking around and looking at all the new stuff and DLC and apparently not today though. I've just been frickin' slacking. Damn. I'm like, we're not even that far already, so. Okay, are we. Okay, so that actually works out. Finish this one off. We're not too far. So, should almost end right around 3 hours mark-ish, kind of. Maybe a little bit after. So, usual stream about for most days. Yeah, I usually don't stream for more than a few hours. Like, don't get me wrong, I have absolutely had some days I have done anywhere from like a freaking 6, 7. I think I even had an 8-hour stream one time, freaking. But that's you get caught up in doing stuff and freaking other stuff, and then yeah, you just keep going. You don't even think about it, and then you look and you're like, oh, crap. I didn't even realize I've been going that long. I've definitely done that a couple times. I usually hit about that 6, 7 hour mark, and I'm like, oh crap, I didn't even realize it. Because I'm used to streaming for like 3, maybe 4 hours at a time, right? Definitely works out. We're ending a bit on schedule today. Because, yeah, there's some stuff here I want to work out a little bit. Move a couple things in the setup. Like, I know I've spent a couple days moving stuff around and doing stuff with the setup, but, you know, just final little tweaks and stuff kind of thing. Oh. You know what? Nope. I'm not. Nope. Nope. Oh, I'm not screwing. Actually, I might screw with that. Hang on. Oh, I stalled. Damn it. Come on. Oh, that's why. It put me in high range. Bugger. I saw the gap behind him and to the tracks, and I was like, I don't actually know if I'm gonna fit. I kind of don't want to try that. But it turned out to work out in the end, timing-wise. Register? Okay, there we go. At least it knows I found the dealership. Oh, 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 oh. Crap, turn. Turn, turn. Whoop. And, oh, just barely over here. It's almost like going through the maze of the other yard again. Like, damn. I mean, we ain't even at the yard yet. Okay, check that off. Because we don't actually need it. Okay, where? Oh, right there. Well, that works out perfect. Yes, it's nice and easy to see from the gate coming in. I think our best bet is gonna be to do this like we usually would. We'll swing over here. with them having the yard dog right there is definitely not helping. It means I can't get quite that close. I'll just move in a little bit. It's definitely a good thing I put a decent amount of miles on this truck, because if I had to try and do this without knowing how this truck actually freaking likes to cooperate, that would be not nice. Like someone who never driven it before jump in, basically like, how in the crap do you actually do this? Especially with a good chunk of my trucks being stretched out, like lots of people go for a freaking huge, massive cab. No, I go for a not bad sized cab, but a freaking little bit of a stretch in the frame. That's just me, right? Okay, we're gonna fix this real quick here. Over. Slightly to the right. Perfect. Works for me. Okay. I'll just shut those off ahead of time. Drop our trailer. And 672. Not bad, not bad. We're getting there slowly. Alright, I'll get out from under. Together really quick here. Go to the entrance. Because you know, don't kill tradition, right? Not to mention it's nice and easy. That way, if they want to spawn a trailer there or something, I'm not sitting in the way when I go to log back in. Lights and everything are shut off. Drop the air out of the suspension. And shut it down. Perfect. Alright. Okay. I'm going to quickly switch this over real quick here while I deal with this. Because unfortunately, the problem of my computer being a pain in the butt trying to raid out and still have stuff open, haven't quite got there yet. But so far, by the looks of it, it's going okay. Nothing's screwing up. I'm just gonna go here real quick. Manager. Stable? Yeah, I thought so. Okay. Who is on? Who can I leave everyone with? Who's on? Been on? Oh. And he's no. We just started. Okay. Well, let me get going there. I'm not gonna bother right off the bat with a raid. So, I'll leave everyone with Ari. It looks like she's got a few extra people today, so that shouldn't be a bad one. Alright. That started. Perfect. And then we'll wait on that. I can
close that. We'll deal with that afterwards. Okay. 16 one last time. Bam. Okay. Alright, guys. I'd like to thank everyone for coming. Thanks to everyone who stopped by. It's greatly appreciated. If you like what you see, don't forget to follow. We are on the road to affiliate, so any follow is greatly appreciated. But like I said earlier, I'm gonna call her for the day, and I'm gonna leave everyone with Ari and the glow sticks. So go show some love and support like we always do. Have some fun. We'll be back on Wednesday afternoon. Probably, like I said, we'll have tracking back on the model till at least next week. So I will keep you all updated on that. But with that being said, have a good night or a good day wherever everyone is. And we'll see you on Wednesday. Talk to you later.